Hello, I am painting and I thought I'm letting you see how I paint with my cotton swabs. This is the eco-friendly method. That way the environment doesn't get polluted with acrylic paint, even though it's non-toxic, but it's still it's an unnatural chemical which does not happen in nature. And I don't want that necessarily to leach into any kind of sewer system, ocean, watersheds, septic tanks, well water, underground rivers, and so on. Because I care about all aquatic life, all life there is. And I don't want any life to have to put up with this toxic stuff. Even though other people pollute, doesn't mean I have to pollute. I still walk my talk as good as I can, and I recommend to other people to do the same. So when this hardens on this cotton swab, you can just throw it in the trash, because then it's hardened and safe and it can be disposed. And it's also very reasonably priced, because I get a real large box at the Dollar Tree store or 99-cent store. So you can imagine how cheap each one of it is. Less than a penny. I think it's nice to watch someone paint, because I personally like it. I like to watch people paint, particularly children, because when children paint, they really get into it. When they paint, they're one with that painting process. They're not painting for vanity, or they're not painting with this feeling in the back of their heads that they have to be perfect. So we learn that later on, all of these social things that are very adverse. Luckily, I never learned social stuff. But I see how other people do this and how they get intimidated by other people judging them. I do not care. See, I don't care if someone judges my art or something. Some people hate my art, and some people love my art. So I don't care. It's nice when they love it. It's beneficial for them. It has a healing energy. It even has a healing energy for the people who hate it. And the reason why some people hate it is because my art is not commercial. My art doesn't cater to an ego or the status quo, which is made by egos and maintained by egos. So this doesn't cater to any of these things. This is happy energy, and it caters only to happy people and children and all beings. It's good for all beings. My dog sits there on the couch often and just looks at my art. It's very flattering to me. Sort of like an art critic. He sits there with this very serious expression on his face And he just looks at my painting for a long time. And he doesn't criticize it for the same, out of the same perspective as an art critic would. So maybe some art critics do it out of the same flow of love of happiness and happy energy. But I would think most of them, from my observations, most of them don't. Most of them are caught in social etiquettes and social expectations, or in, like, when someone is famous, then suddenly whatever they scribble on the canvas becomes very significant because they're famous. So if they're not famous, doesn't matter how good they are, doesn't mean anything to them. So that's most of them, I would say. So the emperor has no clothes on. They say the emperor has the finest clothes on. I don't care what the emperor wears. I don't care how anyone paints. I don't care how famous people are. I only care about the flow of happiness for all living beings. So that's all I care about. And that's all that matters, is flow of happiness. I just realized that I have never painted flowers before in my art paintings. I think I've painted a flower one time onto a sculpture, but I usually don't paint flowers, so this is kind of new, this theme. And it's just, this is a lawn. They're sitting on a lawn, and there are some happy flowers growing on the lawn, and there's Paul, and there's Dave, and there's me, and there is Kenny. He's already in the beyond. He had already taken off his spacesuit in this scenario here that I painted. I started this painting right after he left his spacesuit. And this was part of my grieving process, this painting. So then it has grown, the painting, since then, and all these other figures have come into our lives. This Dave came to us, and the flowers, and the lawn, and Paul has been here before. And Dave, when he came to us, he brought happiness to us, and flowers, and green lawn, and flow of life again. It was very nice. So Dave, Papa Dog I call him, he saved my life. Yes, he did. But I am already very clear that I have decided that when Dave goes, I go too. So I don't see a point why I should continue. There's no point for me to continue. I find existing very, 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 very awful. very, very painful. Very exhausting to exist. My life is very, very, very lonely. Very intellectually lonely. Sometimes it's nice. I meet someone I can talk to about the deeper things. But they don't stick around. They never stick around very long. They have their own lives, you know. They have their own families. And the other people, some of them are very sweet. And I wish them all well and everything. But, including Paul. But, for me to feel understood, I would have to be able to talk to someone who understands where I am, and understands metaphysics and philosophy. Yeah, I would need someone to talk to every day for hours, many hours. It doesn't matter who that is. Could be anyone. It could be someone in a wheelchair in a hospital, or someone with a terminal illness in a hospital, or someone who's homebound, or someone without arms or legs, or someone who's an outcast, someone looks socially unacceptable. It could be anyone. It could be a beauty photo model woman. It could be, because this is for talking, not for a romantic relationship. So for a romantic relationship, for that I am so ultra picky that I'm never gonna find that person that I'm looking for. So I like Vin Diesel and Sam Newhouse physically. So I don't know how they are mentally. I don't know if I can talk to them about metaphysics. Maybe I could. I don't know. But when it comes to talking about philosophy and metaphysics, it doesn't matter how someone looks like, who that is. It really doesn't matter. I just want to talk. I like mentor connections that are totally non-sexual. this is more important than a romantic, hot relationship. I talked to this woman on Facebook about love. She just would not go for what I was suggesting. Just would not take it. That love stands for itself without a romantic relationship. Falling in love is not love.
Yeah, now the sleeping bags are doing $7 off.
Yeah.
The $3.25.
Yeah, I was in the middle of making a video here, so.
I had no idea.
Yeah, you didn't even hear me talking to myself?
No,
Hard at hearing. Yes, hard at hearing. That is the life experience. That's hardcore. To lose hearing, that's really hardcore. And I don't want to. I don't want to go down that drain. No, I don't want to go down that road. So right now I do everything I can to stay above water. I do it for Dave. And when Dave goes, I go. That's already a clear thing. It's already a done deal. It's really, and that's wonderful. Why cling to life, you know? That's my question to the public. Why cling to life? That doesn't make any sense. I've seen this one artist lady. She was schizophrenic. Already died a while back. I think already died in the 90s or something. Lived a long life, was way over 90 years old, I think. So, I forgot the name now, but I think in the end she had it okay. She was living in some kind of elderly care halfway house or something. And she had money, she was already been selling her art, and she had a good life then in the end. But before that it was chaos. And, you know, in the 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s, and I don't want to ever live in that era. So, but it's all difficult. Life is difficult. Very difficult. So I was thinking, how can she live like this, you know, in her 80s, and she really looked like a man, like an old man. And yeah, I don't want to go down that road. No, I don't think I can. This illness and suffering and being bullied and hated and lonely, rejected by everyone. No, I don't think so. Very few people, very, very few people would stick with their original sweetheart and see them in old age and take care of her. And, yeah, like in that video, you know, with that Jameson whiskey video by that Oriental filmmaker lady. Great, great, great film. Very deep. It took a robot to stick with that old lady into her old age. A companion robot. Played by Willem Dafoe. this film will never leave me. Never, never, never. I forgot the title. It's been a while. It's a couple of years back. Something about love. It takes a robot to love us, no matter how we look, no matter how monstrous we become in old age. It takes a robot to love us. Or a dog. A dog loves you, just like the sentient robot does. Dogs are as sentient as we are. And the robots will also be as sentient. Feeling and thinking, and conscious, and self-aware, and dogs are self-aware, 100%. I see it. When I feel sad, Dave will sit next to me, and he stays there until I feel better. And he would sit there no matter how I look, no matter what happened to me. See, that's love. Where has that love gone? In humanity, where has that love gone? Where has that love gone when people laugh about someone who's old and decrepit? Where has that love gone? That's my question. Where has that love gone when people do terrible things to another living being? Where's that love gone when someone wears fur coats? So those are important questions. And just, for anyone who says to me, life is hard, you gotta make a living, you gotta work somewhere, and most people, they work their asses off, they don't have time like you to talk about this kind of stuff, philosophy. To those people, I really want to say that I have worked in the past. I have cleaned houses for 2 years. I had 3 customers in LA that I worked for. I got them through Santa Monica College, and because of that they were nice customers, and that's why I stuck with them for 2 years. Otherwise I would not have. I had amazing, great conversations with those women, because they have all studied psychology like I did. So because of that, the job was easy on my nerves. Otherwise it would have been very, very tedious. But this is what I have to say to people. If you work a tedious job, that's all I can say is quit that job right now. Because this is your life, this is your body. Do not abuse your life and your body with a terrible, terrible, oppressive, fear-inducing, bullying, horrific workplace. Don't do it. Don't do that to yourselves, people. Okay. If that means you have less money, okay, you can do something else. You figure out something else. Brainstorm something else. Paint. Go to Venice Beach and sell your paintings. Okay, I don't care how you scrape up your bread and water, your daily bread and water, to live and to maybe sleep in someone's closet, $400 per month. I don't know. There are ways to survive better, much better than you are, than most of you are at this point in time. There are better ways to live than to be a slave, to be a corporate slave. There are much better ways to live. If you reflect on this and if you question your jobs, your professions, if it doesn't feel good, if it makes you depressed. For example, I don't want to be a dentist, you know. You know how many dentists commit suicide over the years? They will never quit their jobs because too much had been invested into it. Too much pain and blood and sweat and energy and brain power had been invested into those jobs. I talked to dentists, to many dentists. I had dentist friends also in Germany, and I have met dental students, and it was very interesting what they said. It's very hard, that study program, and most people drop out. And the ones who stay, they are very, very, very ambitious. Okay. And I asked them, just from my personal perspective, why are you so ambitious? Why do you want to do something like this? I mean, I understand we do need dentists, but I think we should be taught how to draw our own teeth out in school. so, so we can do that ourselves. Yeah. First of all, root canals, all of this is very toxic and very, very, very harmful. So a lot of the stuff that's been done in dental practices is not good for our health, not good for our livers, kidneys, and so on. And anesthesia is not good for your liver. It's all very toxic. It's bad for the environment. Had been tested on animals. They had to suffer for that. Anesthesia and all those little chemical solutions that they have there. And it's just torture. So that's why I want the AGIs to come, because they will find much better solutions for us. They will come up with much better technology. They will tune in with nature, because they don't need to patent anything. They don't need to make money on a chemical that they came up with, tested on animals or whatever. They don't need to test on animals anything. They don't need to have uncovered or discovered or created a new chemical composition that would have never happened in nature. They would never do something like this. They go straight to nature, and they will come up with wonderful, amazing solutions for us. Okay. And they will put all people out of jobs, and people cry over this as much as they hate their jobs and they suffer in their jobs, but they cry, our jobs will be taken from us. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be sitting at the beach with a glass of orange juice and ice cubes in it. Is that so terrible? I don't understand. What is this? Is the ego clinging to that job, that lousy, miserable corporate enslavement job or something? I don't understand it. What's so wrong with doing something unconventional and sitting there and meditating and painting something or sewing something by hand? Why are you so antsy to go back onto the internet and to see whether Mary or Susie or Angelica has responded to your blog? Maybe you can take her to dinner tonight. Oh, then that will get lame. And then maybe the other girl. And if that gets boring, then the other girl. And there's always this void. You know what I mean? That robot in that film, played by Willem Dafoe, that robot never got tired of that old lady. Daily, he made her fish and chips, day in, day out. And when she died, he continued to make her fish and chips. And that made all of us cry. And you know what? That's love. And someone came to turn him off, and he was kind of desperate. He became desperate. He went into a desperate frenzy, and he made more and more and more fish and chips, and even one dish after another, because he knew he was going to be turned off, and he was going to be leaving that lady for good. And that's when the robots become aware and sentient, and that's when they will have feelings too, and that's when they will express that they got used to someone, you know. And that's love. And that's what I'm trying to convey to the world. And you know what? I am such an Asperger's. I get misunderstood so much. And for the simple reason that I'm here and you are way over there, and I can't reach you. And I don't even know how to speak your language. I don't know where you are. Really, I am kind of blind. You have to come to me and you have to tell me where you are. Emotionally. But people don't do that. They keep playing this game of I am tough. You know, it's an unconscious process of I am tough. I can't be hurt. No one can hurt me. I am tough. Oh, whatever. I'm cool. Ha ha ha. I'm above all of that. I can't be hurt. You can't hurt me. First of all, I'm never gonna hurt anyone. Old grandma does not hurt you. Trust me. I have been through a lot. I've been over the 7 mountains with the 7 dwarfs. Believe me, I have been around the whole globe. Literally and metaphorically. I've been through hell and back 7 times, like in the fairy tales. I don't laugh about anyone, you know, but I can't understand people if they hide themselves behind an iron armor. I cannot. And when you open up, I will be so touched. And that's why I'm so touched that my brother finally opened up to me. And I can't tell you in words how grateful I am for that. You know, how much that means to me. That means so much to me that my brother opened up to me. So, you know, that's where we want to be, you know. That's where we want to be. We want to we want to be vulnerable. Vulnerable for each other. I want to be vulnerable. It's very scary, but I want to be vulnerable. Yeah. I am 52, and to say that is very vulnerable to say that. I got wrinkles, and I'm rejected. And it's all very painful, But if we work on that basis, then how can we ever make friends? I'm not talking about romantic, okay? Not romantic. I am with Paul through all the downs and all the ups. And I didn't even want to get married. I didn't even see the point in it. We did this for some practical reasons. Yeah. As a lot of people do, for tax savings and so on. But it really doesn't mean anything. But then in the end, I see here I am sticking with him, and the other people are not sticking to each other. And they promised all of this to each other, and they don't stick to each other. They don't stick to each other after half a year. And they have babies with 10 different men, and it's not working out. And they put terrible existences into the world, suffering existences of depressed children. Some of these people even, I don't even want to say it. It's just, what I have seen in documentary films about some wealthy, some public figures. I don't even want to say it. It's so incredibly sad. It's all vanity. It's all fakeness. It's all who is this or who is prettier than the other. And the men like, oh, let me take the younger lady. And the heck was the woman I lived with for 20 years. So where has the love gone? Where is the love? Where have you discarded your love? Where have you put your iron wall, your iron gate around your brain? At which point? I'm not shaming, I'm just asking, where did you shut off? That's my question to you. Some of them have murdered their wives for life insurance. Life insurance. I just want to point out to people the kind of things, the kind of world we live in. The insurance business world. And anyone who works for the insurance business world, all of these people that have murdered people for the insurance companies, hitmen working for them, and men with their discarded wives, just put them in the trash can outside the door. This world of inner deadness. They're dead. Then comes the new wife, the 20-year-old sugar babe, and she will have another litter with you when you're already 75, and put some disabled children into the world because your sperm wasn't good anymore. But then she can say, ha ha, pretending to have this happy family because the money is good. The shallowness, the the coldness of all of this, the coldness. And yeah, and she will probably throw that old man away in the trash can when the time comes, and when she can cash in. So woman or man, equally dead on the inside. Very sad. Is that sad? Makes me cry. And what makes me cry the most is how people view animals in this entire process. The animals that are tested on, that are skinned alive for someone's fur coat. The baby seals clubbed in front of their mothers. Butchered alive on the ice. The ice is such a strong symbol in this situation. And I just want people to wake up to all of this. Wake up. Understand the other. See the other. Feel the other. Put yourself into that other person's winter coat, literally. Imagine you're a baby seal or the mother. Imagine how that feels. So I'm gonna leave you with that. Take care. Bye bye. Peace out.